Hey everybody, and welcome to the Guitar Studio here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Dave Isaacs, and this is part 2 of a 2-part lesson on fingerpicking Fleetwood Mac's Landslide. So if you haven't watched lesson 1, check out the link below in the description, and that will get you up to speed on the verse, the first part of the song, which is actually very simple, and most of the song itself, which is simply this. Capo on the 3rd fret, starting with a C chord, picking 5, 3, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, noting the alternating thumb between 5, 4, 5, 4, then repeating the same fingering pattern on this chord, G with a B bass, fingered with middle finger, 2nd fret of the 5th string, pinky, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, same picking pattern, 2 fingers to form an A minor 7, 4th string 2nd fret, 2nd string 1st fret, and back to the inverted G/B, C, G over B, A minor 7. That's the whole pattern for the verse. But when we're getting ready to go to the chorus, we start off with the same cycle, but instead of A minor 7 like before, we do this. Back to the original pattern. Just like before. So let's take a closer look at what happens in this chorus section. First of all, we have a lead-in of an A minor 7 to a D and D7. And as I said, it begins with the A minor 7 in the same spot that it's been appearing all along, which is the 3rd chord of a 4-chord sequence. C, G over B. But now, here's the difference. This A minor 7 we're going to finger a little differently. We're going to add the pinky to the 1st string, 3rd fret, and the picking pattern now is this. It's going to involve a hammer-on, striking the 5th string with the thumb, and the 2nd string with either your index or middle finger. I'm using my middle. So on the downbeat, we hit 5 and 2, hammer the index to the 1st fret. We're going to follow that with thumb on 4 and then striking the 1st string. Now I happen to be using middle and ring for those 2 high strings right now, but I could use index and middle like this. So it's 5 and 2, hammer the 1st fret, 4 with the thumb, and then 1st string with the middle. Then I'm going to finish the pattern like this. Here's the hammer, 5 and 2, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4. So here it is slowly again, starting with 5th and 2nd strings. We start off with the 2nd string open and then hammer the 1st finger. Hammer, 4th with the thumb, 1st with the middle, 5th with the thumb, 2nd with the index, and then 4th with the thumb. Go to really a D7 inverted with an F sharp bass. Keep in mind that we do have a capo on the 3rd fret, so actually we're in the key of B flat, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to think about the shapes so that you're thinking the chord you're looking at rather than having to transpose in your head. So this is really a C minor 7, but I'm calling it A minor 7. And then comes this D. What we're going to do is move the middle finger over to the 6th string, 2nd fret. Without the capo, this would be an F sharp, the 3rd of the chord. And we're going to have a little moving melody line on the 2nd string like this. Starting with the open string, hammer the 1st fret, add the pinky on the 3rd fret, and come back to the 1st. Now the thumb is going to keep going between 6 and 4. Again, thinking without the capo, this would be the 3rd of the chord F sharp and the open D string. And of course, we're really playing with an F7 chord here, but we're thinking of it as a D7. So here's the move. 6 and 2 together. Hammer, thumb on the 4th, 2nd string with the pinky this time, 6th string thumb, release the pinky, 2nd string, and 4th string thumb. So bass is doing 6, 4, 6, 4. We're still alternating notes between thumb and fingers, low and high, but hammer, thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb. So we have this little melody and the added bass, hammer, thumb, thumb. So these two chords are like this. Notice how the middle finger just moves over from string 4 to string 6, and then on this D, D7 part, because here would be the D, the 5 chord, 3rd in the bass, melody note. Here's the D7, because this is our 7th, this is our root. So here's the transition. And now with these fingers in place, the ring finger is going to go to this 3rd fret. Without the capo, this would be a G. The index is still planted on the 2nd string, and we're going to add the pinky on the 1st string, 3rd fret. This is now a G suspended 4, G sus4, and we're going to start off striking 6 and 2, and then pulling off with the index. So watch this. So on this G form, 6 and 2, pull off, 4 is thumb, 1 is finger, 6 is thumb, 2 is finger, 4 is thumb. 4, 1, 6, 2, 4. As I'm holding the G form using pinky and ring. And if you're not comfortable or familiar with this G shape, this is one you should know. Because we're finger picking, we don't need to account for the 5th string note. But this fingering really makes this pull-off possible. So if you find this challenging, consider that if you can bend the pinky at both knuckles so that really you almost have a right angle here, and the very tip of the finger hitting the string, let the thumb peek over the top of the neck. Now where exactly it goes is going to depend on your hand. There's no absolute to this. But more or less what we're looking for is for the wrist to be straight, and bringing the thumb up allows that to happen. I can now extend the ring finger. So notice how the pinky is bent at both knuckles and sitting on the fingertip, whereas the ring is almost straight, very slight bend in these joints, and sitting more on the pad of the finger. Wrist is straight and relaxed, thumb is just floating up here, and using this fingering allows me to play the pull-off of the G sus to G. So remember, we're setting up this index finger coming from the previous chord. Notice that you don't need the pinky right away. You just might find it easier to plant both of these at the same time. But if you've got the coordination, or honestly, this is a good way to develop that coordination, it's probably smoother to come from here. Just plant the ring finger base, play the pull off, you've got an open string here which gives you time to get that pinky in place. So now we have another inverted D. This is the middle finger on the 6th string, 2nd fret, the pinky on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. But what we're going to do is just go to quarter notes now and play 6 and 2, thumb bass on 4, replace pinky with index on the 2nd string, 6 and 2, thumb bass on 4. So, E minor, except the first thing we strike is just 2 open strings, 6 and 2, and the pattern is like this. Now keep in mind, some of these things I'm approximating. When you listen to the studio recording, there are 2 guitars that are going at the same time, and there's variations throughout the part. Lindsey Buckingham is a very creative guitarist, and so he's doing a number of different things. So what I'm playing is a somewhat simplified arrangement with a few more interesting licks that does capture the essence of what he did there. So, just want to qualify that, so if you're listening to either the studio or live recordings and you hear a lick that's a little different, this is all in the appropriate style, and melodically it works very well. So when we get to E minor, we're going to do this. Six and 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 1, 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. Really, you can think of it like this. I'm just adding to the bass part a rising arpeggio, 3, 2, 1, on the offbeats. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. That low E starts the cycle again, and then I just continue it. 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. So again, there's the rising arpeggio, I just don't get to the E string. So, 6 and 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. So, now we're back to the C. I'm playing a slightly different pattern now. I'm going to start with 5 and 2 together, and then 4, 3, 5, 2, 4. And this is just to add some melody on the high notes. Here's G over B with the same pattern, 5 and 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4. And then we have a repeat of this A minor 7 lick with a hammer on and the added pinky, 5 and 2, hammer, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, and our little D, D7 lick over F sharp, or 3rd in the bass anyway, 6 and 2, hammer, 4, 2, 6, 2, 4, and then once again, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, and then back to the original pattern, which is just alternating 5, 3, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4. So I want to show you now how we get into this, just to make it clear. The second part of the song leading into the chorus replaces the 3rd and 4th chords of the 4-chord sequence we've been playing in the verse. With a different form of A minor 7. Rest of the song just continues that. Now there there are a couple of spots where we pause on that A minor 7, and it could be nice to add this little lick. Which is just holding A minor 7 but lifting the index finger, so we get 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, and then bring that in. So here would be basically from the top. 2, 3, 4. Took my love and it took it down. Obviously, I'm not singing in her register. Climbed a mountain and it turned around. I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills to the landslide. Here we have the sky. Now it's my interpretation, but I think it works nicely. Repeating this. Can I sail through the changing ocean times? Can I handle the seasons of my life? This is sort of an interlude after the verse through the 4-chord cycle. And this time we add in the new lick. There's the rest of the song. So there you have it. This part's a bit more challenging than the first section. If you need a refresher, go back and watch the first video on this song. And when you're comfortable with that simple alternating bass pattern, go ahead and take a crack at this one. It's challenging, but it's worth the effort. It's really rewarding. And it does give you an idea of some of the other things you can do in terms of adding melody to one of these alternating bass patterns. So check out the tab. The link is below in the description. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Please comment. Let me know what you think. If you don't subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. I'm Dave Isaacs. Thanks for watching.